I'm Mandy, and this is my journey to self-discovery. I'm 41, spent 20 years in corporate, the past 7 years as an entrepreneur, and have 4 businesses. I've spent my whole life highly driven by success and achievements. Now I'm putting it all on hold while I tackle my biggest life questions. Why am I here on this planet? What am I here to do? What's my life's purpose? What's in it for me? This is me without the mask, slowly shedding the old self in pursuit of my real self. So I'm back, and I'm talking about my first Akashic Record Reading. I had alluded to that in the last video that I was doing this and ended up scheduling it within about 2 days of when I first reached out to this person to do it. And so I prepared for it. It was a 30-minute session, had no idea what to expect, wasn't sure. The Akashic Records are considered the book of life. It is your book of all past, all current, and potential future. So I went into the session, and I had a list of 10 questions, and we just started into the questions a little, and I really, it was pretty enlightening what came out. It was a lot of validation of this entire journey that I've been on, and especially what I've been chronicling on these videos. So that was really pretty interesting. I didn't go into it really wanting to validate my purpose because I felt very strongly that I knew what it was. I had been working on it quite some time, fleshing it out, and I felt very confident in my purpose, which is radiating love and light to really, in everything I do, in thought and in action, to really help to raise the vibration of the planet. And but however, during the conversation, purpose did come up, so I naturally just asked about it and asked her, what the messages were, what my purpose was, and sure enough, it came through as love and light. And so that was the absolute validation, although I didn't even need it because I already felt like I knew confidently what it was, but that was it. So what else came up? So a lot came up about, strangely enough, about music. And I wasn't really expecting that, but music came up a number of times. And I love music, and I find that there have been some certain types of music, certain songs, for example, where I have felt my energy. I mean, naturally, when I listen to certain music, like I do feel like I just kind of open up. But what this said is that when when your soul hears music, your soul opens up, and I feel that sometimes. There have been certain songs where I feel like I hit a higher vibration when I listen to those songs, and so I wasn't at all surprised by it. But I wasn't really expecting for it to come up because it's just something that I enjoy, not something, though, that I felt like kind of resonated as much as it did. So anyway, music came up, which is a pretty interesting tie-in to kind of the last piece of this. So I asked some other questions. Who am I here to serve? And got back a very kind of loud message that it's not a particular group. I have in my mind thought that, wondered, is it a certain smaller niche that I'm here to serve? And the message was no. The message was, you are here to serve the world. It is not a smaller niche. And so that was incredibly enlightening. And it's funny because my husband has even said that. He said, if you are here to change the world, you have no niche. That was something that he mentioned to me a couple of months ago. And wow, is that ever true? So that was another great message that came from that. It also came up again it seems like every time. I've done now an angel reading. I did that in February, and now this. And inevitably something comes up around food and healing. Always seems to kind of exude itself. And it did here too. And it could see like some signs of that. It also could see that I am sensitive to foods, and so I'm very cognizant of the foods that I consume because of how they might make my body feel and things like that, which was all completely spot on. So that was really again, just validating, and it was interesting. But one thing came up, and I had told myself many times, and that I was not really interested in past lives and didn't really care about it, didn't really want to go down that path. But in the part of the discussion, it came up that in a past life that I was a scribe or a writer. And so 2 reactions from that. One was, oh my gosh, I have this like love-hate relationship with writing, and this even came up in my last psychic reading, which was with angel reading, which was back in February, that I would be writing a book. And I actually did try to write a book, but the conditions really weren't quite that great, and I felt very insecure, wasn't very confident in my message, and ended up moving away from it. But I got some really great feedback that, that was a discipline of mine in a former life, that I was very disciplined about it. And so if that is something that I choose to do in this lifetime, that just to know that I've got kind of that inner part of me kind of has that skill a little bit, which I thought was really, really helpful. But then it took me down that path, and I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to ask this, but I guess I'm going to ask it. So I then asked, well, how many past lives have I had? Knowing full well that I did not really want to know that answer, nor did I even want to go down that path, but I did. And the number that she said completely blew my mind, and I'm still just trying to process it. But the number that came up multiple times was 432. That was the number. And I tell you, my emotions and my reaction after that, I had just a wave of emotions. I guess I just had looked at it from maybe a different perspective, perhaps a lower perspective. But at the time, I felt like, man, are you kidding me? I couldn't get it right on the first 100. I couldn't get it right on the second 200, like 432 lives. Like I felt almost squashed and almost felt like, why am I even here? And I know that that wasn't the right emotion because it didn't resonate with me. I know that it wasn't, but I didn't have enough background about that topic I shouldn't have even probably went there, but I did. And now I'm probably happy that I did. But so that was the session. There were some other things that we talked about too, but that was the overall gist of it. So I took a number of days, and I mean like 5 days I've taken just to really just think about it, meditate on it a little bit. And so here are my takeaways from it. One of which it has completely validated a lot. I now have, the purpose didn't even need validated, but now my purpose is validated. Now my who, so now my why am I doing this? What am I here for? I know that. I know the who now. I know it is the world. Those are big questions that I now have complete confidence and around. So now the next question is how? How do I do it? How do I do this? How do I play big? And how do I start to pull all these pieces together? And truly, that's not up to me. That's 100% the universe. So what I'm focusing on right now is getting 100% focusing on my vibration, my alignment, making sure that everything is aligned, and also making sure that I'm open to receiving, all that is here. So I'm doing all of the inner work, letting the universe completely figure out the details of how this all gets pulled off. But I feel great knowing that. I loved hearing about the book writing in a strange way. I was a little bit disappointed at first. I don't know why, but now that I have that information, I feel confident that if a book is in the future, that now I've got a little bit of confidence that I would not have had otherwise, because I have just not felt the security and my confidence in writing. Now, strangely enough, I do. So that all really worked out. The other messages were just, don't look back. Like, no more looking back. Like, it is just full speed ahead. It is time to surrender to success, and it is time to receive, time to receive abundance. Because I did ask about the blocks. I asked about, why do I continue to have a few small little blocks? And the messages were, it's time to stop looking at the past. Now it is just time to look ahead and look, and really just embrace it, embrace receiving, be open to receive, and just be surrender to success. Those are the messages. So I love that, and that resonates completely with me. And the 432 incarnations, which, is almost, which sometimes I laugh a little bit about, but what I have found, and this is what's really kind of strange and interesting, is that if you search 432, oddly enough, 432 hertz is the music has a kind of a level, a hertz level, probably not even saying that correctly, but most music is roughly at like 440 hertz. Well, 432 hertz is the natural vibration. That is the natural sound of the universe. That is the natural vibration of the universe. Some call it, some say that it is Mother Nature's heartbeat. And so 432 hertz, if you were to go and do a YouTube search under that, you would find the most meditative, calming music, like you might hear if you're getting a massage or a place like that. So it's interesting that on the 432nd life that I'm living right now, that music is really kind of coming up, and that I felt it, and I felt that that helps to get me to a higher vibration. But now it's almost just like a little bit of that closing of the gap, or maybe connecting the dots is a better way to say it. But it's kind of strange how that happens, but I found it pretty enlightening, and it helps to really, it helps me to kind of process 432 lives a little bit better. And then the other thing that I just left feeling like, and this is now, kind of validation from many, many, many months of learning, is that, there really is I don't believe that there is actually a set path. I really believe that we are our creators. We are the architects of our life. And this is really about just experiencing this life and this journey, and we get to just create it and make it our own and just make it amazing. That we don't necessarily come here with the whole thing, set for us, and we just have to kind of figure it out or live it by default. That truly we are creators, and that's what we're here to do. And so really the fun part is just focusing so much on tuning our vibration into it. I mean, I'm starting to learn now more and more and more that this is all about vibration. It is 100% about vibration, and it is so fun figuring out like how our emotions impact our vibration and how to manifest, and it's so much fun. So I'm having a blast dreaming, coming up with all these ideas, figuring out my life's purpose. I figured out the life's purpose. I figured out who, my audience is. And now I'm just letting the how it all happens kind of unfold. And let's just see where it goes. So this has been so fun because I love to be able to chronicle the way the universe is kind of adding these synchronicities. I mean, my goal right now is to stop forcing and efforting, because I've even found in the last couple of days, I have been forcing and efforting things a little bit too much, and it's not coming as easy. Last week when I vlogged about it, everything was coming easy. I didn't even have to leave the house. Everything was just happening. I was in total alignment. That was letting the universe figure out the how, and me just being open to receive. That's where I'm getting back to. So it has been crazy, crazy fun. And so I will continue to share all of this with you, because I think it is so fun when we start to see those synchronicities that you just know you cannot explain. It is just too wild to even fathom how this happens. That's the magic. And when we start to look for those in our life, we start to see really, really great things happen. So that is where I'm at right now. And I can't wait to be back again very soon with more for you. Take care.